Hey everyone, this is Suresh from Mind is a Monkey coming at you guys with another episode of Let's Check Out Some Diecast. Yep, you guessed it right. Today's video is gonna be about the 2024 ZAMACs. So this is a video that's been 1 year in the making. That's right. So I kind of like spent the last year collecting all these ZAMACs, 12 of them for this year. Right, so I wanted to get them all together and kind of like open them here in this video and check them out with you guys. So yep, so lots of fun, lots of weight into this video. So but I think it'll be worth it, and I'm hoping to make it fun for you guys. So ZAMACs, right? So I think as the name goes, I think it's zinc, aluminum, magnesium, and copper, right? So ZAMAC refers to the bare, unpainted versions of these Hot Wheels cars, right? So, to rephrase, these would be available as main lines in other stores, but, certain Walmart exclusive assortments. At least that's how here it is in the United States. In the United States, these ZAMACs are exclusive to Walmarts, right? So ZAMACs started way back in 2013. And, back then, there were like 18 models in a year, right? So, but then they had like a 10-year strong run. So that's like 180 models. And then in 2023, Mattel and Hot Wheels decided to switch things up a bit. So they brought the number of, yearly ZAMACs from 18 to 12, okay? So not sure why exactly, but maybe they wanted it to pair with the 12 red editions that are available as Target exclusives every year. So anyway, long story short, those were like the big changes introduced by Mattel in 2023. And this is the second year where we have had like 12 new models, per year. So back then, right? So I'm saying prior to 2023, you would have A, B, C, D. The first 4 case would not have any ZAMACs. So the ZAMACs would start appearing in the case E, the assortment E, right? So, and that three ZAMACs per assortment, right? So we would have ZAMACs in cases E, G, J, L, N, and Q, right? But then since last year, they made it 2 per case, right? 2 per assortment. And the assortments are B, E, H, K, M, and Q, right? So B would have 1 and 2, E would have 3 and 4, H would have 5 and 6, K would have 7 and 8, M would have 9 and 10, and the last 2, 11 and 12, would come in the Q assortment, right? So those are some of the changes that Mattel made with these ZAMACs in the past couple of years. So this was a real fun kind of like getting the set together. And some of these ZAMACs, I was lucky enough to score them in my local store. And while some of them, many of them, I ended up buying from my local diecast club. So, thanks to all those friends who kind of like put these on sale, gave me good deals. So, it's been a fun time collecting these ZAMACs. In addition to the 12 ZAMACs, the official Walmart exclusive ZAMACs that we have had this year, Mattel also kind of like tried something new, right? They brought this mini series called Rolling Metal, right? HW Rolling Metal, and they brought pretty much what looks like ZAMACs, right? Let me kind of like just zoom out here a little. So they pretty much brought what looks like ZAMACs, but these were not Walmart exclusive. I mean, you could find them at Target, Meijer, any store, right? That sold them. So we have the 49 drag Merc and the High Roller 2 to be specific, the Shelby Cobra 427 SC, the Tesla Cybertruck, and the DMC DeLorean. This also happened to be a treasure hunt in that N case that it was a part of, right? So these 5 were like the unofficial ZAMAC as part of, and they are a part of the HW Rolling Metal mini series, right? Now, with the exception of the roller, right? We will get to that in a bit. These look like authentic ZAMAC decos, right? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm just like readjusting the light so that you get to see this. So this is pretty much the exact same bare metal finish of the ZAMACs, right? So I'm not sure if this was Mattel's way of kind of like sneaking in additional ZAMAC models, in addition to the Walmart exclusive mix of 12. But it's definitely been like fun to find, right? Now with this one, so this high roller, I don't think it is metal. I somehow this has a very plastic finish about it, and I think we will find it when we open it, right? So I think with the exception of this, pretty much all of the other rolling metal cars kind of like have that a nice bare metal finish about them. And a special mention would be to this new model for 2024, which is the Aston Martin DB4GT High-Speed Edition, right? So this, as you can see, is also like a super cool bare metal version. So I kind of like wanted to open this along with the other ZAMACs. I may not put them into the same storage, but I definitely wanted to call that out, that it's made its debut as like an unofficial ZAMAC, right? So without further delay, let's dive right into the models. Okay, so the first two cars for the year, these are the C Zinger. Let me find out if it is like 21C or Z1C. Yes, so that's 21C. So it's the C Zinger 21C and Mighty K. So these made their appearances in the B case. All right. So the first ZAMAC for 2024 is the C Zinger 21C. So, and apparently, like, I mean, I didn't know this before this. It is actually an official model, right? As you can see here, right? C Zinger. Today, my focus is a little buggy today, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. All right. So, yeah. So C Zinger, right? There we have it. The first ZAMAC for this year. At number 2, we have the Mighty K. This was also a super treasure hunt last year. And I think the design is by the super awesome, but sadly late Hot Wheels designer Ryu Asada. So Mighty K. So I think since the 10th year, which was like 2022, Hot Wheels has also gotten into the habit of putting that ZAMAC badge, right? So it's here. I think I probably gotta like stop the camera and take a look at the settings just once again. Yep, there was definitely some kind of a setting that I had to tweak on my camera. So what I was saying, so since 2022, where Mattel/Hot Wheels commemorated the 10 years of ZAMACs, they've started kind of like adding this deco, adding this badge as a deco to the vehicles, right? So you see that there? That's what I'm pointing to. So this has started making a deco appearance on all these ZAMAC vehicles, right? So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's set it there. Okay, at number 3 and 4, coming out of the assortment E, the E case, right? So we have the 57 Jeep FC and the McLaren Solus GT. Let's open them up. There we have the 57 Jeep FC. Nice, kind of like ZAMAC tints, right? I should say, because I think in addition, I mean, when you think about ZAMACs, right? I mean, they're just not, some of them like this C Zinger could be just bare metal, right? But most of them will have additional paint job or like decals on them that will really kind of like bring out the accents, right? So here we have like a green windshield plastic that kind of like goes along with that green deco that you see. And as you can see, there you have the ZAMAC deco. There we have the 57 Jeep FC. Let me set it there. Up next is the McLaren Solus GT. There we have the McLaren Solus GT. And if you look closely, I mean, wow. I mean, this one's got some pretty cool, how should I put it? Like cracked paint finish, right? So that's literally what it looks like, right? So pretty cool. I wonder how random that is, if it's going to be exactly the same, because it seems too random to be repeatable. So if you see what I mean. So there we have the McLaren Solus GT number 4. All right. At number 5 and number 6, these are coming out of the H case. Okay. So this happened to be like a heavily sorted out model, it being the Honda Civic EG from 1992. And this one is a Mustang funny car, right? Okay. So again, from the H case, we have the 92 Honda Civic EG. I mean, people were going crazy with this model because it's like Honda, JDM. So JDM lovers definitely wanted it. And some were scooping up as many as they could. And, you know, I mean, this is definitely like a cool model. And there you have the ZAMAC deco, right? So, and other folks like me who wanted to be completionists definitely, you know, wanted to get this model as well. So there we have it. Number 5, the 92 Honda Civic EG. At number 6, we have the Mustang funny car. The Mustang funny car. Usually the funny cars, as far as I know, they have some kind of like an opening parts, but I don't think that is true with this one. So, you know, there we have pretty large metal surface for that price point, I guess, right? And there you have ZAMAC, and there's actually also a number there, you know, but it's like super tiny, right? So Mustang funny car, 24 HW art cars. That's the mini series that it belongs to. Yep, that's the mini series that it belongs to. Yep, HW art cars. That's what it says. All right. So there we have it. All right. So now moving to the second half. I'm just making room on my table. So moving to the second half, at number 7, at number 8 are the 94 Audi Avant RS2 and the 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser. Woot woot, right? So I was lucky enough to score these locally in my store. So these were just 2 of the 4 models that I actually ended up finding myself, right? So that is also something else. So, you know, I mean, like in the United States, these are exclusive to Walmart, but, you know, I mean, distribution wise, I don't know if they are going to be that frequent, because these have become pretty hard to find, right? So, but, you know, again, I was glad because this one would easily spike up in prices in the secondary market, being a gasser and everything. So I was glad I was able to kind of like snag it. So at number 7, we have the 94 Audi Avant RS2. So 7 and 8 are coming from the K case, right? I think the K case was the one with, I'm going to say, the Mazda as a super. So there we have it. So this is the Audi. And I have a fun fact to share here with this. This is the classic example of just a baremetal ZAMAC, right? No big paint jobs, nothing but for the you know, tail lights and the, you know, Audi decals, right? So, but other than that, it's just like a baremetal ZAMAC, right? So now, before we jump onto the gasser, I kind of like notice that this ZAMAC had like a fun variation. This casting has a fun variation, and that has also seeped into the ZAMAC versions of it, right? So there you see the gas tank, the gas tank cover is a right way to put it. So the gas tank cover. So now I have 3 models here, right? So one with the gas tank, all right? So this is the one with the gas tank, and just give me 1 second. Yep. This is the one without the gas tank cover. Okay, so that's a variation. Let me just like take the camera so you can see it. All right, so with gas tank cover, no gas tank cover. All right, no gas tank lid, right? So, and I ended up finding one which was between the two, right? So this is actually, you know, a casting where I don't know what exactly caused this issue, but it almost looks like it's got a gas tank cover, but actually it doesn't, right? So I thought this was like a cool piece. So, and, I just thought I would just keep these three as carded because like they are variations. So let me set them aside. So that was a fun fact that somebody, actually I was just like, to be honest, I didn't find it myself. Thanks to Instagram, someone posted it online, and only at that point I didn't even realize that this particular model, the Audi Avant RS2, had that variation. So there we have at number 7, the Audi Avant RS2. The Audi Avant RS2, and probably the most popular model of the year. Possibly giving a good competition to this Honda Civic, is a collector's favorite, which is a 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser. Now, this is the second time that the Chevy Bel Air Gasser is coming out as a ZAMAC. That's right. So the Chevy Bel Air Gasser has already made an appearance in prior years. I'm going to say somewhere between 2013 and 2015. I wish I kind of like looked up my sheet. I kind of like maintain a sheet where I have all the ZAMACs listed by years. So this was one of the earliest ZAMAC offerings, and it's also kind of like pretty pricey right now. I mean, it could average somewhere between $30 and $40, depending on the card and the quality and everything, right? So long story short, the 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser is like a pretty cool, super popular model among collectors, right? And the fact that it has a The Collector written on it, it also has some kind of like a Funko branding there. I also remember saying that when I opened up the main lines. So it has NHRA Goodyear decals, and there you have the ZAMAC deco, right? So some people kind of like had some issues with the engine being replaced by a plastic part. I mean, could have been a chrome variation or a pink chrome variation of that piece, but I guess in order to do justice to that price point, Mattel just kept it plastic, right? So that's possibly the only letdown of this model, but other than that, everything about the windshield and everything, the color really pops. So I'm super glad that I was able to find this locally. There we have the Chevy Bel Air Gasser, probably a little repositioning of the camera and everything. All right. Up next at number 9 and 10, coming out of the M case, we have the Mercedes-Benz Unimog 1300L and another collector's favorite, the 90 Acura NSX. Right? So I ended up getting these from eBay because these never showed up in my local store or any. I think this ZAMAC case completely skipped the Midwest or something. So none of my fellow collectors found these. So I ended up like resorting to eBay because I wish to get the set completed. But this is pretty deco heavy, I should say, right? Let me just get the light there. Yep. So there we have Unimog, and then we have Orek, ABAC, MG, WAN, and is that a HW80 or HWRT? Not sure, right? And then I think I'm looking for the ZAMAC. Oh, there we have the ZAMAC branding, right? So pretty rugged construction. This Mercedes Unimog makes an excellent ZAMAC model with all those, contrasts and everything. So there we have, that one's at number 9, right? Coming in hot at number 10 is the 90s Acura NSX. Pretty cool. Yep, another classic example of, just the simple car with just the unpainted bare metal variation without any big decal or deco or something like that, right? So there we have the 90s Acura NSX. So again, that is also going to be like a very popular model, right? Okay, and coming in hot, these two, the last two pieces of this year are pretty stellar, and they are coming out straight out of the Q case. At number 11, we have the 67 Ford GT40 Mark IV, and at number 12, we have a beautifully stunning Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, right? So let's open these up. Wow, this Ford is a beauty, right? GT rhymes with beauty, right? So pretty beautiful construction, right? HW graphics, and MWG Ford, and there's something before that, racing. I'm not able to read that. So pretty cool, nice decals, the number 27. So I think all of that is going to be very similar to the mainline car that this is based out of, except the ZAMAC branding, right? So that's pretty cool. So there we have at number 11 a pretty freaking awesome 67 Ford GT Mark IV. All right. And the last official ZAMAC for the year, and the reason I say official is because, they had the rolling metal variations. So the last official ZAMAC for the year 2024 is a Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. And these two happen to be the other two models that I actually ended up finding in the store. Funny story is, the year was coming to a close. We were beginning to see 2025 A cases show up in Walmarts. And so I thought, okay, so maybe there's like no chance I would be able to find these locally. So I ended up buying these from a friend on Facebook. And then, funny story, yesterday I just ran into possibly the largest dump bin that I have ever seen, and they were full of these two ZAMACs. So that was pretty cool. I snagged a good deal of sets to kind of get them to my collector friends at my local meet. So that'll be pretty cool. So there we have at number 12, the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. This has always been one of my favorite models. I've been a huge fan of Lamborghini. That's how I started collecting. I started collecting just the exotics, Ferrari and Lamborghini. And then, it started expanding out. Pretty much. You cannot blame me. There are just so many cool models to collect, right? So those are the 12 official models of this year. Now, I'm just quickly gonna make some room so that we will be able to check out the other unofficial ZAMACs coming out of the HW Rolling Metal Mini Series, right? All right. So the earliest one that came out in this series was a Shelby Cobra 427 SC. So there we have it. Beautiful curves of the Cobra, 427 lettering. Pretty cool execution. I think the Shelby Cobra used to be one of those castings with an opening hood, and then while Mattel kind of started minimizing costs of production, they kind of retooled it to have a sealed hood. But your OG castings used to have an opening hood, and that used to be really cool, right? So there we have the Shelby Cobra. And then I think the second one that started appearing in stores was this 49 Drag Merc from the M case, right? So check this out. Wow. These are as you can see, these are super, they are as ZAMAC as, anything, right? So I don't know why Mattel kind of opened out the ZAMACs to other stores, but anyway, I am happy as a guy who collects ZAMACs. So, fun new models to add to the ZAMAC collection. There we have the 49 Drag Merc. I hope I got that right. Yeah, the 49 Drag Merc. Pretty cool fiery decals, the number 33 and everything. All right, let me set them there. And then up next is a really cool treasure hunt, the DMC DeLorean. So we have seen the DMC DeLorean make a lot of appearances. This has been extremely popularized by the Back to the Future movies. So any person who's a fan of that BTTF pop culture would be a fan of this casting, right? And I think the Hot Wheels designer who brought this is Ronald. I'm not getting the name right, but I know his Instagram handle. It's Ronald ERW or something like that, right? So I have had the Ron. That's whom I'm referring to. So I've had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman on one or a couple of conventions that I've been to. So the fun thing is, this is a ZAMAC and a treasure hunt. The DMC DeLorean also was a dinner model at possibly the, I'm going to say the 2019 Lombard National Convention. Yeah, I don't think it was the annual convention. I think it was the 2019 Lombard Convention that happened in Lombard, Illinois. It was the Nationals, right? And then the DMC DeLorean also came out as a super treasure hunt. I'm going to say probably 2016, 2017 maybe. So that's like really cool. So Ron had kind of like posted a picture on his Instagram saying where he lined up these three models together. So it's pretty cool. So there we have the flame symbol, noting that it's a treasure hunt, right? So, and I think it says DMC or DMC here, right? Right. So pretty cool. Nice ZAMAC edition, unofficial ZAMAC edition. And then the last two parts of this mini series, the High Roller 2 and the Tesla Cybertruck, right? So these both came out of the Q case, right? So let me open the Tesla Cybertruck. Wow, pretty nice car. And this is the second time we are seeing a Tesla Cybertruck. I think the last time was probably in 2019, maybe 2021, I would say. But you know, I mean, this is, and back then, of course, right, it being a Tesla and everything, it was also kind of like a bare metal variation, and that was not a ZAMAC even back then. That was like part of some other Green Trucks mini series or something like that, right? So this time it's made a reappearance in the rolling metal mini series. And you know, I mean, even though you know the society is divided among Cybertrucks, as a Hot Wheels model, I think this is like pretty popular. I mean, people were just like scooping them up by the dozens when they found them in the stores. So the last part of the last member of HW Rolling Metal mini series for 2024 is this High Roller. So I was pretty excited, but it was kind of like a letdown when I actually saw the model, because this seemed pretty plastic. Yep, I'm right. So it is indeed a plastic body, you know, like, so that's metal, but this one, it's clearly plastic. So, you know, I mean, they pretty much, I think they gave us like a plastic car in the HW Rolling Metal mini series. So what's going on? What's the deal with that, Metal Hot Wheels Dream Team? Right? So you snuck in a plastic car as part of the HW Rolling Metal series. So what's the deal with that? All right. And then the last car for today is going to be this pretty stunning Aston Martin DB4GT high-speed edition. Fun fact, this is a new model for 2024. And in 2025, this is going to be a super treasure hunt. Right? There's going to be a version that would also have a super treasure hunt variation. So, and you know, I kind of like, I was digging the ZAMAC finish of this car, and look at the wheels. They pretty much look like real rider wheels, right? So like the white lighting wheels, but then once you take a better look, I mean, you do understand that they are plastic, right? So, but net, I mean, this car has gained a lot of popularity. I mean, I knew Brad from Orange Diecast was so pumped about this model, he kind of like created a blog post for it. So I definitely wanted to include that. And as you can see, it is as ZAMAC as any model, right? So that's why I kind of like added it to this video, even though it's not an official Walmart ZAMAC. So there we have, ladies and gentlemen, the ZAMAC lineup for 2024. That we have the 12 official Walmart exclusive ZAMACs, and then the 5 unofficial ZAMACs from the HW Rolling Metal mini series, and finally we have that Aston Martin new model, which is also pretty much as ZAMAC as any other model here. What would be your top favorite model in this ZAMAC lineup? So I'm gonna say this one would be my number one model, because I'm a huge fan of the gasser casting, and then followed by, I'm gonna say the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento would be number 2, followed by the Honda Civic. Right? I mean, I would put the Honda Civic on par with the Ford GT40 Mark IV. So that would be my 1, 2, and number 3s. Like, let me just zoom it out a little. So that would be my 1, 2, and number 3s, top castings, top favorites for this year. Definitely some, worthy mentions are the new model, the Aston Martin, and the McLaren Solus GT and the Mercedes Unimog. What's your favorite? Do leave a comment. So till I meet you guys next time, this is Suresh signing off. Rock on and stay awesome. Bye, you guys.